Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. This is the paid request. This time for Walker. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of reactions or reviews, topics, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Walker wanted me to react to a list he made. Now let me stress, this is a list he made. His viewpoints on movies that deserve a sequel, part 1. So I guess there will be a part 2. Feel free. But I did his list of movies that deserve a sequel. The ones at the very top are the ones that will cry if we never see a sequel. And mention why you agree or disagree with some of them. And I have my phone up so I could look at the list. So again, these are films that Walker feels deserve a sequel. Do I agree or disagree? And why or why not? Zero. Number 1, Upgrade. I disagree because I think the ending... Well, actually, let me think about that. I mean, at the end of Upgrade, the AI is taking over this guy. He's in this perpetual sleep, this perpetual entrapment. If you had done a sequel, but at the same time, that's never going to happen, and that's not what the director would ever intend. But if like did a sequel where the guy was able to fight back against the AI and take control of his body, that could be a bit enticing, but that's not what the director ever intended, so that's why it would never happen, because the director likes the way it ended. He feels it's a one movie deal, and that's how he preferred the story to go. To me, I didn't. It would be like at the end of RoboCop if OCP Communication took successful control over RoboCop, wiped his memories of Alex Murphy, and he just became a product of OCP. No, I would not like the way that ended either, and that would have ruined the movie for me. So, it would depend on what the actual story is, but it follows... I mean, you easily could. I mean, you have this creature, this thing that follows you and can look like any thing at all, and it's passed like an STD through sexual intercourse. It Follows is one of those films that I liked some of the aesthetics, the acting performances, the musical score. My issues with that film is this thing is supposed to... It can look like anything. Why is it that it picks the worst fucking disguises to follow you? That just loses any amount of suspense of, is it that person? Is it that person? Is it that person? Because they always are the most conspicuous things. Here's a crowd of people, but that guy is in... His ass is hanging out, and he's in like a hospital gown. I wonder if he's the one that the It Follows creature happened to be. Oh, that person is naked, standing on a roof. I wonder if that's the creature. Oh, this one is in a hallway, and they're 7 foot tall, as tall as Shaquille fucking O'Neal. I bet that's the creature. It's like this creature has no brain or common sense. He's shitty at his job. It's shitty as his job and mimicking, pretending to be. So that just bothers the fuck out of me. I can't help it. I guess if you made a sequel where it was smarter and you create more suspense, a la John Carpenter's The Thing, perhaps. Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal, I like that film. I don't think you need a sequel because I think the movie ended where it needed to end. This guy was successful, what he needed to do. The blood pays, so to speak, as this reporter now. And, I mean, what more can you really tell about the story of Jay Gyllenhaal's character? I mean, that was the whole point of the character. If it bleeds, it leads. Him getting to this point of utilizing violence, showcasing, photographing violence, and seeing this rise of success. It would be like making a sequel to American Psycho. Oh, they did, and you know how that turned out, so you don't need a sequel. I like Nightcrawler. I don't think you need a sequel to it, though. No. The Punisher 2004, absolutely. Absolutely 100% agree with you on that. I really do like The Punisher with Thomas Jane. I actually saw it in the movie theater. I think Thomas Jane did a fantastic job as the Punisher. I did not mind the approach, the change of location to be, what was it, Miami instead of New York. I didn't mind that. I like the musical score. It has a little bit of Ennio Morricone feel to it. John Travolta, I thought, did fine as the bad guy. Nice to see Roy Scheider in there, although in a small part. The action scenes were efficient and nicely done, what they needed to be. And that's what would have been great in a sequel is, okay, we've established the origin, now we're to really pump up the action, pump up the volume, and really go for broke. But not to the extent of what they did in Punisher Warzone, which became a goofy-ass cartoon shit. By the way, I will say rest in peace Ray Stevenson, who played the Punisher in that. He recently passed away. I was not a fan of his Punisher, but at the same time, he was very young, 58 or something, and that's still too bad. And still way too young, so rest in peace to him. Still not a fan of the movie, but, rest in peace to him. But yeah, The Punisher with Thomas Jane, I would love to have seen a sequel. Maybe this time do go back to New York. Maybe utilize Jigsaw the right way. And not like a cartoony way where there's an American flag, stuff showing behind him, and amp up the action. Yeah, I mean, be a precursor to what you would see later in maybe this era of John Wick, Nobody, like these type of movies. Like, the ending of Violent Night with David Harbour. Imagine the Punisher going to town on people like that. That would have been awesome. Sadly, this wasn't meant to be, I guess. Other than Dirty Laundry, that short film, which is a good short with Thomas Jane in it. So yes, absolutely agree with that. Candyman 2021, Hellraiser 2022. No. No sequel for them. Why the hell would I want to see a sequel to Candyman 2021 where the whole movie was a shit version of Black Lives Matter, where white people are bad and Candyman's down to kill all the white people, and Tony Todd's in there in a completely pointless cameo, and the lead guy is a very boring, just boring ass movie. Really didn't. I understand the original Candyman. You could look politics into it, but that was much more substantial. It was much more, believe it or not, it felt less in your face than the new one. And at the end of the day, the original Candyman is still a Universal monster movie type of thing. Phantom of the Opera, Be My Victim, Helen. That was really its main goal, was to be that type of film. Politics were part of it with the slums and how the slums get ignored. But the new Candyman just had like awful CG. What was that bit at the beginning where it's like giving a lecture about how awful cops are, shadow puppetry? I'm like, fucking woke ass bullshit. I don't want to see more of Candy Woke. And Hellraiser 2022, that was a boring ass movie. That was a boring as shit film with unlikable characters. Why should I care about this lady who's a drug dealer or a drug abuser who just shits on everybody and her family? Total piece of crap. Nothing happens for most of the film. It's rather tame for its rating. I remember there's a funny bit where they're running and one guy trips over thin air. Like, what do? Trip over your own dick? The closest to creativity is a scene in a van where the van extends and looks like a coffin or something. But the motivations of some of the characters later on in the film, and the Cenobites do this for this reason, but they don't. And I didn't care about the new Pinhead. The other Cenobites just looked really lackluster in terms of creativity. It's just a fucking boring ass movie. There's been enough Hellraiser films. You never do a Hellraiser film ever again. We've already had, I was going to say 8, but no, 10 Hellraiser films before that. Hellraiser 1, 2, 3, Hell on Earth, 4, Bloodline, 5, Inferno, 6, I always get confused, 6, Hellseeker, and 7, Deader, was, I think, 8, Hellworld with Lance Henriksen, 9, Revelations, which is probably the worst of the bunch, 10, Judgment or something, and then this new one. The world did not need 11 Hellraiser films. I think it's sad we got 11 Hellraiser films, but only 1 Lord of Illusions. Which I actually quite like Lord of Illusions, Scott Bakula. I would love to have seen another Scott Bakula, that character, go into a different paranormal situation as that character. You don't even have to call Lord of Illusions, just whatever other stories you could come up with that Clive Barker has. That's just fucking Hellraiser. You never need 11 Hellraisers. So no, I don't need a sequel to Hellraiser. Smile? No, because I thought that film sucked. It was If Fowls Meets the Rain, where people have goofy-ass smiles. It was predictable. A lot of that fucking film. I did a first-time viewing commentary. It's on the channel. I predicted a lot of what happened in that movie. The characters weren't much. The situations played off as one of those wannabe, when they were doing all those American version of Japanese horror films after the success of The Ring, felt like one of those movies. Cool makeup effect at the end with the face, but people smiling like this is not creepy. I don't need to see more of that. Nobody? Sure, I'd take a sequel to Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. As long as he's feeling better. I know he suffered a heart attack. I'm glad he's feeling better, but yeah, I would be fine with it. There's been no talk of it, though. And it's been 2 years now. So, if we only have one film, that's fine, but again, I did quite enjoy that movie. And if they did a sequel, as long as they don't screw it up, of course, I'd be open to it. I had fun with the first one. The first one was a nice surprise. Christopher Lloyd was really fun in that movie. Bob Odenkirk did a pretty damn good job. I liked his character. The action scenes were well done. Loved the finale and the whole warehouse sequence. Bob Odenkirk's job. And the way, even was it the RZA? Even him, the way he's implemented was pretty decently done. Dredd, I've said that for years. If there's a film I want to see a sequel to, it would be Dredd. But no one saw it in the theater. I saw it in the theater in 3D. Not a lot of people did. People didn't support it. They'll go support, Fast and Furious 10 or whatever the hell, but not Dredd. So, no sequel. But yeah, I would love to have seen more Carl Urban as Dredd. Know more about that world. Maybe bring characters like Judge Death or other characters. Carl Urban did a wonderful job in that. We'll love to have seen more, but sadly, that will never happen. Welcome, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I haven't seen the whole thing, but there's room for more. No, no sequel to Welcome to Raccoon City. It's a terrible movie that tried to put too much into one movie. It tried to put Resident Evil 1 video game and Resident Evil 2 video game in a blender, and neither was satisfying. Leon Kennedy was a joke. They made him into a joke, goofball character who shot his partner or boss's ass, and it's just made fun of for most of it and does nothing, but it's just a comic foil. I will shoot the zombie. Ah! Claire gets most of the moments to shine. Jill might as well not be in it. She was such a non-entity. You put in that blind creature lady, Lisa Trevor, for no reason other than she was in the remake to Resident Evil 1, but why is she in the orphanage at the beginning of the film? As in, why is she just left wandering around, and why was she just left there? You think she'd be an important project to study her DNA? They just leave her ass in this orphanage, and because she'd met Claire for 5 seconds, it's like, friend, I remember you from 20 years ago. I met you for 10 seconds. And then they leave as she gives them the key, and they never go back for her. Like, she saved you. She saved your life. You know, there's a self-destruct on the town. You're not going to go back and try to save this person that saved you? Okay. Oh, because perhaps in the original script, she was supposed to arrive at the end and get killed by the big creature baddie trying to save Claire or something. Lisa Trevor gets killed. And I'm like, you want to be so in tune with the games and, oh, this is what the police station looks like and this is what this looks like. But you change so much of it. You change so much about how these events happen. And there's really a lack of action and horror. How many zombies get killed in the movie? How many actual creatures get killed? You have one licker that looks like crap in CGI gets killed by getting its neck broken by Lisa Trevor as if she was Steven Seagal. Ridiculous. So your terrors don't even fight the licker. There's no hunters. There's no big giant snake or big giant sharks. I knew none of that would be in it. The mansion's barely used. You see the main hobby and you very dimly lit rooms. Like 2 or 3 of them. So the mansion is underused. It's a fucking awful Resident Evil film. Why would I want to see more from this director that promised all these things and, oh, I didn't have the money and I didn't have the power, I didn't have the... Then don't make any more of these fucking movies. How about that? How about them apples? Stream 6, why do you want to see a sequel to Candyman 2021, Hellraiser 2022, Stream 6, which they're doing Stream 7, or Terminator Dark Fate? Why do you want to see more Terminator films? Why do you want to see more Stream films? Stream 6, in my opinion, was dog shit. I said in my review, I'm not going to repeat it. Ghostface was a trilogy, that's it. Did not need any more. It's done. Terminator Dark Fate, Terminator's been done since Part 2. I could deal with Salvation to an extent. No, I don't need to see more of the Mexican Terminator and Arnold being goofy and goofier and goofier as a Terminator. From Talk to the Hand in Terminator 3 to smiling in a police profile spotlight, Din's picture taking like Terminator Genesis, or being a surrogate husband for a Terminator that's supposed to feel no pity, no remorse, no pain, no fear. No remorse, no pity, huh? But you're a damn window washer, dresser, painter, whatever the fuck his job title was. You killed John Connor, Edward Furlong in 30 seconds, making Terminator 2's whole process pointless. And yeah, you can find another savior of the future. It's right there at the bottom of that cereal box. Or in fact, cut the back out, send it for proof of purchase. You get another savior in the mail. Just these films want to be shitty versions of Terminator 2. No thank you. Django Unchained, they kind of did all they needed in the first film. So no, I don't need to see a sequel. That's a film that I think could have been edited down a bit, but there's aspects I do like. Jamie Foxx, Leonardo DiCaprio's performances. I like the usage of the Trinity theme at the end. Because I love They Call Me Trinity, which is the movie it's from. And Tarantino rarely does sequels other than Kill Bill 2. He really does sequels to his films anyway, so you're never getting that. Uncharted, the first film sucked. Tom Holland is not that guy. He's not Nathan Drake. Nathan Fillion was Nathan Drake, but not Tom Holland. And that movie was so boring. There was a goddamn fight scene in a fucking, was it Subway? Was it a Subway? Marty Mark and the girl, I had a fight. I swear it was in front of a Subway. I swear it was. What's good about that film? Why would you want a sequel? Renfield, I didn't see it. The Nice Guys, sure, I liked it. Not everybody liked it, but I like Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe. I like their back and forth banter together. In truthfulness, they didn't really solve a whole lot if you think about it, by the end of the film. But I liked the journey because I thought the dialogue was kind of witty and funny. And I thought the actors performed them really well. Well, I like to see them showcase those characters again and on a different adventure. But that film completely bombs, so you're not seeing it. But I'd be open to it if it was written well. Final Destination 5, that franchise ran out of ideas by part 3. Because all it became is the same. I know, well, this is the same. No, Nightmare on Elm Street was, oh, here's a bunch of kids, the Dream Warriors, that felt new and fresh. Even the Dream Master, Alice, and the way her kidder interacted, that felt fresh. Even Friday the 13th, they got to, zombie Jason with a bit more humor in it, or someone with powers going up against Jason, like part 7. This is literally the same movie over and over. There's a certain gimmick or a certain event. The third one was roller coaster. One was NASCAR. One was a bridge. One was... Yeah. Because it was the Final Destination and then Final Destination 5. I'm trying to remember, I think... Was it the NASCAR, the fourth one? And the fifth one was the bridge? And then they go through the same old, finding out that they were meant to die, find a way to fight fate, and then everybody dies at the end. Or they're ready to die. The first two films I liked. It wore out its welcome very quickly, though. Again, they were running out of stuff by the third movie. Let alone a Final Destination 6, which I'm sure they're making one because we're out of ideas. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, well, they did. They just didn't have the same actress, but they did. It was called The Girl in the Spider's Web or something. So technically they did make a sequel, they just didn't have the same actors in it. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo I didn't hate, but it's like, whatever. Kick-Ass 2, grown to enjoy this movie over time. No, I'm not a fan of Kick-Ass 2. I wasn't even a fan of Kick-Ass 1. I watched it again, and I warmed up to it a bit, mainly for Hit Girl and some of the other attributes, although I'm not a fan of the Kick-Ass character. I think because of his stupidity and ineptness, because he, of course, doesn't know what's going on, because he's just a regular kid trying to play superhero, he gets Nicolas Cage's character killed. And, I don't know. I think that actor works better in films like Bullet Train than Kick-Ass. So no, I don't think we need a Kick-Ass 3. And I'm tired of no. TTS 2 was bad enough. Trick or Treat, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Anthology film, one of the better anthology films. It does have a bit of a cult following. There's people that get the costumes and people that mention that film around Halloween time. The fact there hasn't been a sequel is actually rather surprising. But on the flip side, that film didn't get theatrical release, just got dumped straight to video, which I remember getting the DVD and going, wow, this is actually rather good. Why was this just dumped straight to video, straight to DVD? I don't understand. Terrifier 2, didn't see it. I'm not watching a 2.5 hour slasher film where I didn't even like the first film, just all I had was gore, 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 and shit characters, and I don't give a shit about art. He's new! Yeah, no, doesn't mean I give a shit. I've seen evil clowns before, and Pennywise. I mean, hell, there was a film that did that called 100 Tears back in the day about a gory film where a clown kills people. It was called like 100 Tears. It was just guy in a clown suit goes around and kills people. It was like a much less polished version of what Terrifier 1 would be. Plus, Terrifier 2 I have a bone to pick because my friend Michael Teen, he reviewed the film, showed three still pictures, that's it, and he got his video taken down by YouTube. So I have a personal grudge on that film. I will never see that film if that's the case. Unless there was a shitload of money. Plus it's 2.5 hours. And I'm sorry, no slasher film needs to be 2.5 hours long. The Lincoln Lawyer, I remember not minding that film with Matthew McConaughey. Sure. I mean, no one's crying out for a sequel to that, well, other than Walker. But I mean, I liked it. It was Matthew McConaughey, courtroom drama, which he did one before, and A Time to Kill, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember enjoying the film. Matthew McConaughey's performance in particular. So, again, you don't really need one, but okay, it wouldn't bother me that much as long as it's well made and well written and such. Big Hero 6, I barely remember the film. I remember being so I don't really care about a sequel. Epic, if it's the one I'm thinking of, no, because I reviewed that film. I think the review's still up, and I wasn't a fan of that movie. And actually, I want to check to see if that review's still up. Let me double check. So it's easier to check these on the computer because on your channel, you just go to the... oh, actually, no. You go to the top, Home, Video, Shorts, Live, keep going to the right, About... well, by the About, there should be a magnifying glass. There would be on my computer, but not here. Epic. I guess maybe I type my username. And I type in the year too. It used to be. Damn it. What the hell happened to my review? I know I reviewed this film. Where the hell happened to it? What the fuck? Where is my review? Why is it not there? Is this even the one I'm thinking of? No, I don't mean... What year did this film fucking come out? I don't even know this is the film I'm thinking of. I don't think this is the film I'm thinking of, actually. So yeah, I don't think I've seen this one. What the hell was that one I was talking about? Brave. That's what I was thinking of. Brave. I got confused with that film Brave. I've never seen this one. I got confused with Brave. So I haven't seen Epic, so I don't know if it needs a sequel or not. Sorry about that. No wonder. I can't find a review because I never reviewed it because I'm thinking of the wrong damn movie. That would help if I remember the right movie. So there you go. Shit. Apparently people have done, by the way, if you type in Rambo Afterlife Epic, like on your search engine on YouTube, Rambo Afterlife Epic, people have done playlists on my rants. So I'll give a shout out to Cinematic World of Benji. And there was another one. Kane Khan re-uploaded my epic rant on Halloween Ends. Which I think I have that on my Odysee channel, but yeah, that's fine. YouTube. So my rant is on YouTube. Just Kane Khan uploaded it, so that's cool. I'm fine with that. Someone else did like a playlist. Lord Draugr. I think his name is Lord Draugr. Was his? I think if I do playlists. It's hard to do. It's hard to look for these on the phone. Yeah, I think it was like Lord Draugr. So there you go. It's funny, like I put that in, but then like the videos still come up. So it's like, yeah. Anyway. So sorry, I haven't seen Epic. I was thinking of someone else. But yeah, I would say of the list you have, I definitely agree with The Punisher 2004. Definitely agree with Dredd. And I mean, yeah, if there was a sequel to The Nice Guys or Nobody, sure. A lot of I disagree with. I don't think we need another Halloween film. Not Halloween. Hellraiser. I don't think we need another Hellraiser film. We've had 11 of them now. 11. Don't you think that's enough? We don't need any more Final Destination films. There's been 5 of them. We don't need any more Scream films. There's been 6 of them. We don't need any more Candyman films. Candyman was only a one movie deal. Then they did 2 and 3 and a reboot, which was a lot of BLM. Trying to be a wannabe Jordan Peele movie. That's really what that is. So, anyway, that's just my take on it. But yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Thanks once again, Walker. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.